So as my father is with my grandfather, who decided to go into hospice care tonight, it's interesting because I honestly didn't really feel much about it. You know, as the eldest daughter who's like taking on breaking lineages of whatever you want to call it, generational yuha, I'm just reflecting on the transition. You know, I called my aunt up and I wasn't feeling anything when I called her, and then all of a sudden the waterworks started to flow because just the sound of her voice, I guess, you know, and just recognizing that we're at that stage where, you know, we're the grown-ups now and they raised us, and here we are helping make these big decisions. And I suppose I'm just reflecting on all of the different roles we play and the parts that there are to play, you know. For example, my sister is this amazing charge nurse at the hospital, and she deals with people at the end of their lives every day. My mom, she's a healthcare proxy, and she makes difficult decisions for people at the end of their life. Professionally, you know, people she doesn't know, people whose family might not even know that there is something wrong with them, or maybe they just don't care. And here I am, this woman that helps people write these documents, or at least guides them in the process of assessing and analyzing their assets, of the best way to put them and to leverage that capital and how to make it benefit the family and to defend those rights for people. Pause, reflect, pay homage, and honor those that are no longer with us or that we lost along the way. And still, both of those phrases are inaccurate. Because we didn't lose them. They were never ours to possess. And no longer with us, how could that possibly be? Energy could never be destroyed nor created. Therefore, it's always everything. Everything is everything. Everything is always everything. You know, there's the existence that we have that's systematized and documented. And then there's how we actually perceive existence. What's felt, what's molecularly experienced, and what's true. And somewhere in the in-between, we sign our names. And the truth is also simultaneously that if we opt out of making the plan ourselves, guess what? There are private agencies, government and otherwise, federally reserving the rights that we have as humans. And if we do not choose to claim them and sign those fictitious names to them, the ones that were assigned to us at birth, then guess what? It gets stripped away from us legally. So here I am, a woman in the world, and I am dedicated, pissed off on my own accord and behalf, and on behalf of you as well, to actually ensure that all that we love and own doesn't end up in foster care and probate court. And you can't always see, you know, the web we weave and how we relate to one another. I reflect in that generational U-Haul as well, because, you know, let's be realistic. My dad didn't always have the best relationship with his father. He had a very rough life with him. He didn't always treat him very kindly, and to be honest, almost the extent of my relationship with him was a $20 bill on a birthday from Bill. And Grandpa Bill, you know, I love him, but I'm just reflecting, like, it wasn't always the most heartfelt and warm of dynamics. And that gives you pause in moments like this at the end of life. And gratefully, you know, a lot of those things have been reconciled over the years. It makes you think, though, what this life thing is and what kind of parts we play in each other on a floating teeny tiny pale blue dot in outer space. And we don't really have that much time here. So we get to decide, who do we want to be in the ineffable? What does it mean? I don't know. But what precisely is it that I am trying to become? You know? And if we need to choose to become anything at all, may it be something that brings us fulfillment, that brings us joy, that lightens the load a little bit for another. That's all I ever really want to do, you know? That's why I stop and pause and share it with you, you know? Because maybe it makes a difference for one of you, two of you. Lord knows it made a difference in the life of my own. Some of you I speak to and I don't know all that well yet. Some of you, I'm the literal guardian of your children if, God forbid, you die. And some of you, I want to be like, you know? I admire you and I look up to you. Some of you, I'd like to be friend. And one of the best ways I've come to know how to do that is by being your advocate, an ally, to show you how to do it yourself. And in order to invite you into my world to be able to do that, there, for one, are layers and levels to the game. Because I can tell you one thing, if you've made it this far, chances are you're not comfortable living in La La Land. And let me tell you, honey, if you want to live there, you might not want to stick around me, because the bubbles will be burst and the paradigms shifted.